guys ready for round 2? In case you missed it a week ago, I just did my top 10 classic Megaman tracks, and due to massive demand, I'm following it up with the top 10 music tracks from the Megaman X series. Man, these games had some fucking gnarly music. I think I may actually favor the X series soundtrack over Classic because of how unbelievably high octane and over the top it is. It all feels like it fits in so well with this universe, and the 16-bit guitars and synth all just sound so amazing. But I'm about to say the words guitars and synth a whole bunch, so I'll stop the intro right there. Here we go! We kick off the list with Vile's theme for Mega Man X3. It seems a recurring theme in the X series that dead things don't stay dead, and that probably has something to do with the fact that all the characters are robots. Anyway, Vile makes his return and brings with him one of the only tracks from X3 that really stands out to me. That whole soundtrack is just very whelming. My only criticism of this song is that it's kind of simple and repetitive, but sometimes simple is the most effective. It's always cool when a character gets their own unique theme music like this. It lets you know that you just stumbled upon something interesting or special, in this case an abandoned, crumbling factory, which actually seems very fitting for a worthless piece of shit like Vile. Mega Man X5's music was a breath of fresh air after the very lackluster X4 soundtrack, and the game kicks it off perfectly with this opening theme. The intro portion is sampled from X's own theme in the very first Mega Man X game, which leads into a brand new fast-paced rock jam that just feels so Mega Man. X5's music in general felt like a revival of the music from X and X2. Lots of overdriven guitars paired with synth, which did a good job preserving the technological feel of the game world. This track does an insanely good job getting you pumped the fuck up for a game that was supposed to be, and should have been, the last in the X franchise. I love the series and all, but I'd rather see it die a hero than live long enough to become the villain. I'm looking at you, Sanic. Armored Armadillo's theme for Mega Man X just rocks my world. It's one track that I feel fits with its level so well. There's something about battling your way through a robot-infested mine shaft that pairs so well with this super upbeat electrified swing jam. It just feels very Americana, if that makes any sense. And I guess it really doesn't make sense considering this is an extremely Japanese game. This is one of those themes where the instrumentation is super impressive, especially considering the limitations at the time. I mean, the bass line actually sounds like a stand-up acoustic bass. How did they even do that? The trumpets sound awesome, and of course the masterful layering of multiple electric guitars and synths makes this a Mega Man X track through and through. Alright folks, let's bring it down a notch with Bubble Krabs' theme for Mega Man X2. This is one of those songs that contrasts with the rest of the game's soundtrack so much that it immediately stands out with its soothing xylophone melody, and yet still very much a Mega Man X-ish track with all that synth piled on. This is also a fantastic pairing of level and music. This theme feels very appropriate for an underwater stage, complete with giant fish submarine mini-boss. It's worth mentioning that a remastered version of this track is used in the Duff McWhalen level in Mega Man X5. Yes, there's a boss called Duff McWhalen. So I guess both versions of this track share the number 7 spot because the X5 version is also very good in its own right. It's really a perfect recreation of the original just with higher quality instrumentation. Isn't it great when they recognize that the source material is really good and decide not to totally fuck it up? It doesn't get much more Mega Man X than the X Hunter stage music from X2. This track plays when you take your very first steps into Sigma's Fortress and it feels absolutely perfect. Can we talk about that intro guitar riff? It makes my fingers hurt just thinking about it, and I know it's not a real guitar, but still! Everything about this song just screams Mega Man X. You've got harmonizing, overdriven guitar leads, all kind of synth melodies and backing tracks, and a super fast bass line that acts as a backbone to the entire thing. Music like this makes it an absolute treat to play through these levels. It's just perfect! Oh, looky here! Another Mega Man X2 track! This music plays during the game's intro stage, and man, what a perfect way to kick off this game. I swear, X2 may have had the best music in the entire series. The guitars had this squealy awesomeness that was different from the first game, and it fit the feel of X2 so well. To me, this track says, look, we know you've done this before, but just trust us when we say it'll be really fucking fun to do again! I don't really know what else to say about this track besides that it's just a perfect representation of things to come in this game. I'll give you a second to bask in its greatness. Holy mother of God, what is this? Man, the Sigma battle theme for Mega Man X has such a special place in my heart. I remember quite vividly the very first time I ever reached Sigma when I was a kid. My heart was racing like crazy just from the thrill of being so close to the end of the game, and the fact that this song is like a million beats per minute of thrash metal didn't help. I really think this music is meant to throw you off your game with its sheer insanity. There was actually a point in my childhood where if you asked me what my favorite song was, like normal, actual song, I would say this. Granted, I was a little nerd who was way out of touch with pop culture, but I wouldn't have it any other way. This track might be somewhat repetitive, but that doesn't matter. The fight is usually over pretty fast your first time through. Buckle the fuck up, kiddies, we're going for a ride. This song plays when X and Zero battle each other in Mega Man X5. God damn, this is such an emotional moment in the series, and this track amps that feeling up to unbelievable levels. I'm getting chills just talking about it. It felt like this moment was what everything was leading up to. These two kindred spirits designed by their creators for this very purpose, to destroy each other. I feel like I may have said this exact thing in my top 10 boss battles video, but that was like 3 years ago, so fuck it. This track is so over the top and epic. Those drums, the guitar, the fucking chorus of violins. I can hardly believe there are 2 entries higher on the list than this. Trust me, it was a very tough call for the top 3. When people think Mega Man X music, they think Storm Eagle, and rightly so. This track is so pants-shittingly majestic it makes me want to get a tattoo of an American flag on my face and find some commies to punch. And Storm Eagle has one of the coolest designs of any Mega Man boss ever. And I mean, he's a fucking eagle, and you know about my affinity for eagles and exaggerated patriotism. From the very first overdriven guitar chords to the blasting trumpet sounds, you know you're in for some of the best Mega Man X music around. And it just fits Storm Eagle's stage so well, what with the entire stage being in an Air Force base. The battle against the Big Bird himself takes place atop an airship, and the composers knew that they were going to need some high fucking flying music to do the level justice. This is an exemplary Mega Man X track, and I think that's why a lot of people, including me, love it so much. Just as I did with my last video, I'd like to give a few honorable mentions here because there were just so many good Mega Man X songs to choose from, and it was a bummer to have to cut some out of the top 10. Okay, I'm sure no one is surprised here, but damn, I love me some Zero. Technically, I'm gonna cheat here and say all 3 of his themes from X through X3 hold the #1 place, with the spotlight on his theme from X2, which you are currently hearing. This theme is slightly repetitive, yes, but does that even matter when what you're repeating is this fucking fire? I've gone over the events that unfold when this song plays in multiple videos, and it's probably my favorite moment in the entire Mega Man franchise. I'm aware that my Zero fanboying has officially reached critical levels, and if you have a problem with that, you can leave! Anyway, this track is just goddamn perfect. The chord progression conveys that tragic hero feel that Mega Man songs are so great at capturing. It's not just the X2 one either. Zero's theme from X fits his glorious badass entrance so well and immediately helps shape Zero's character in your mind. It's crazy how music can do that. Zero's theme in X3 is no different, except when you hear this one, you're playing as him, which is awesome. It's like your theme music at that point. Anyway, this is starting to sound like a video I did earlier this month, so I'll cut myself off there. Thank you guys so much for watching my top 10 Mega Man X music tracks thing video. It was a lot of fun. I've been wanting to make these top 10 music videos for a long time, so I'm having a blast doing it. And of course, like last time, I want you guys to let me know if you agree or what your favorites are in the comments section. Let's be nerds about Mega Man music, cause it's good. Bye.